Let's say you are working on a project, and while working on a project, one of the requirement is like that. When you try to filter or when you try to use a slicer for filtering a data, some of the chart should display the filter data and some of the chart should not display the filter data on the same page. Let me show you how. Now see, this two card chart displaying the total income or total purchase that we have done. But see, when I click on the female, that card chart filter the data and display it. But here, whatever data is displayed on that, it is not filtered. Let's say if I am selecting a silver, still it is not filtering. Let's say if I am selected and unselected, this card chart does not get affected. How to do this in Power BI? Hi, this is Krupali from Know How Academy. So let's start with me. So let me tell you what you are going to learn in this video. In this video, you are going to learn that sometime if it is needed, how to disable the filter in Power BI. So for that, you need to understand three functions. First function is all, second is all except, and the third one is all selected. So let's start with me. So let me show you one practical demonstration of that. So let me first explain what data I have used for that. So I have one data set. The name of the data set is called mobile phone purchase data. Now here it is displaying the user, gender information, this is witness data, here this is a mobile data, and here this data is containing model information of the mobile, then buyer's name, then buyer's age, gender, purchase date, what is the buyer's purchase price, and so on. So what I have done, see, I have designed one dashboard, or you can say a simple page to show you the demonstration that, see, this card chart is displaying today same information, that is all total sale, or you can say total purchase of that. So basically 29.14k, that is our total purchase from, or you can say that 29.14k is a total purchase from the buyer. So now say, and here also in table chart I am displaying the data. Now let's say when I click on black color, this card chart display the data according to the selection of the color, but here the total is not changed. Same here, when I click on blue, here the total is changing, but here the data actually total purchase is not changing according to the selection of filter what I am doing it. And here let's say when I click on that, see, when I uncheck that, it is displaying. Now see, when I select that black filter, it is displaying the data, or it is filtering the data. But let's say when I clicking on female, here see, it is not changing. Here it is changing, but here it is not changing. Now see, let's say once again if I click on black, it is changing. But when I click on female, it is not changing. How to do that? So you can do that using all except, all, and all selected in Power BI. Let me take a new file. So I have taken a new file in Power BI and load the mobile data. Now what I want to do, first I will show you how all function will work. Okay, now let's say all function is one kind of measure in Power BI. Now what you can do using all function? All function will prevent the filter which you applied on your Power BI pages. Now let me show you how. Let's say here I am putting one filter, or you can say slicer. Now in that slicer, I am displaying the color information. And let me take one card chart which display the total of the purchase. Okay, so this is the total amount we are getting. So let me write it total. Now when I select a blue color, the total will change or according to the selection of that. But let's say if what I want, whether I select any of the things, the total should not change. Now, whatever chart you have put in your Power BI pages or Power BI canvas, all charts will be filtered according to the slicer data, whatever you have selected. So to eliminate this, you need to use a filter function for that. So how you can do that? So to do that, first of all, you need to right click on it and take a new measure. Now you need to give a measure name. So this time I am giving a measure name that is all DAX, or you can say all function, and then you need to write DAX function, that is you need to write all DAX function in that. So all DAX function, it's a word all, not entire DAX function. Okay, so to do that I am using calculate, then inside a calculate I am doing sum of purchase price, then after comma I need to write all. Now all, and then I am write blank and complete the bracket, and let me execute it. Now it is executed successfully. Now let me just format the card chart little bit and give me a title that total value, total we are just taking a total, and let me just align it that up. Okay, and let me copy this chart and take it another card chart, and in another card chart I am displaying the measure which I have taken. So it is displaying the same thing initially. Now see, both measure are displaying the same thing, but this measure is displaying the data using all total. Okay, now see, when I click on a gold, only this is changing, but this information is not changing. What is the reason for that? The reason for that is that when I write all function inside or with the sum or using the calculate, it will not allow you to filter any of the data which you are displaying in the chart. Now let's say, what if I write something inside that? So let's say if I am writing my data set name or my table name, that is mobile phone. Now still see, it is not changing. And what is the need for writing the table name inside that? Because sometimes what happened, your data section contain more than one table, but you want to only restrict, not to change the data according to the filter selection. So for that you need to write the data set name or table name inside that. Okay, now what if you want to display the same information in table chart? Now let me take one table chart. Okay, now in this table chart I am displaying the model information, gender information, and the total price. So let's say model information, so model A and B, and I am also interesting to know that which type of gender by model A, which type of gender by model B, and let's say I want to know the total for that. Okay, sorry, here by mistake I put that here, purchase price. Now see, let me just format it little bit so you will able to see it properly. Format, let me go there. Okay, it's not applicable in cross another file, so let me just set the style preset, that is contrast alternative, and let me change the font size also. Now see, here when I select that, all the data will change according to the slicer selection, and let's say model A female 1608.40 it will buy. Now it will display the total according to that filter which is there, and here the filter. But let's say if I have, if I'm dragging this inside that, so it is displaying only the total information of that. This is entire total. Let's say here, see here, model A, female, that much income I get, but see here, all over total it is not displaying. So whatever filter is there inside a table, it is not applicable, and whatever filter or slicer I have put outside the table but on the same page of the Power BI, it is not changing. So whether you are displaying it in a table chart or whether you are displaying in a card chart, the measure will not filter data according to that. What if we write any column name inside all function? So let me take one new measure. Okay, and here all function type 1. Okay, or you can say all functions with column equal to, then I am using the same, that is calculate, then sum, then mobile phone, then purchase total, purchase price. I want to do that, and this time I am writing all inside that function. I am using one column, that is buyer name. Okay, and what is the meaning of that? See, when we write a column name inside a all function, what is the meaning of that? The meaning is that it will not filter data according to that column, or buyer's name, based on buyer's name it will not filter data, but it will work on all other filter. Let me show you. See, okay, so it's done. Let me take one card chart. Okay, and let me put this inside that. Okay, and let me format painter and show you. Now it is showing the same thing. Now let's say here, if I click on that, it is filtering the data here. And let's say here what I have done in this I have written one condition that if the buyer name wise if I am filtering, then it will not filter, otherwise it will filter. So let me take one slicer, and inside that slicer let me drag the buyer name, and if I click on that, see here, it is not filtering. This card chart contain normal total, so it is filtering based on whatever thing. Now this contain the all but with no column, so any of the filter will not applicable. And in this chart we are writing column name inside all function. So what does that mean? That means that filter will not applicable on that, other filter will applicable on that. So I hope you understand. If we write column name inside all function, what does that mean? So let me show you one difference on that. So see here, let me copy this and paste it inside Notepad, and let me copy this and paste it inside Notepad. Now let me explain. When you write like this, whatever or any number of filter you put in your Power BI screen, it will not work. But when you write like this, table name, and inside that, any of the filter will not work. It is not like that. But if you put one filter, that is buyer's name, and if you want to try to filter based on that information, it will not filter, otherwise all thing will be filtered. Okay, and if you do not write anything inside the all function, that means whatever data or whatever number of table you are using, that table will not filter anything. So I hope you understand. Now let's see the second example, all except. What is the meaning of all except? All except will filter data other than whatever you have written inside that. Let me show you the demo. Okay, so let me take a card chart. Okay, and let me display some normal total inside that. and let me take another card chart. Okay, and let me take one measure, and the name of the measure I will put it as a all except, then calculate, then sum. Same thing we are doing here, purchase price, then all except and mobile phone, and inside you have to pass two arguments. One of the argument is a table name, and second argument is that on which column you want to put all except. Okay, so I am putting it on a color and complete the bracket and complete the outer bracket of all. Okay, and let me here display this thing. Now here let me put two slicer. One of the slicer which filter data based on color, and one of the slicer will filter data based on gender. Okay, now this contain all except total, and this is contain normal total. Now let's see the effect. If I click on filter, here it is applicable, here it is not applicable. But when I click here, on both the filter is applicable. What is the meaning of that? All except will filter data based on only the column name which you are passing. Other data, if you try to filter, then it will not work. So I hope you get it, what is the meaning of all except. Now the third thing is that all selected. Now let me show you the difference also. Now let me take one card chart, take a table chart, and here I am displaying the data. First of all, model information, and let me just format painter, copy the paint form. Okay, so it will be applicable. Now here I am displaying the what you can say model information and the purchase price. So normally it is displaying that. Now here basically if I put all, it will display the information. Why? Because here this is a model filter, it will not filter based on that. So if inside a table any column information, and based on that if you want to display the data, it will not filter. Why? Because all will remove all the filter. Now the next thing is that, let's say if what I have done all except. Now if I try to put it that, it will filter data. But see here, if the color information is there here, it will filter data based on that. Otherwise it will not filter. Okay, so here all except will not do. Now let me show you the demonstration of that all selected. So let me right click on it, click a new measure and write all selected. Then equal to, I am using the same calculate function. Inside that I am doing sum, complete the bracket, and then what is the meaning of? Then write all selected, and then mobile phone, and inside that I am using color. Okay. Now complete the bracket. Okay, all selected first argument is table reference. Okay, sorry, let me just write only the column name, no need to write table reference. Okay, complete the bracket. Okay, now if I try to put that, it is displaying, it is filtering based on model. Let's say if here I am writing gender here, it is filtering based on gender also. And here let me just remove the color. Okay, now see here, all selected is not filtering based on that here information. Okay, let's see, this is all function and all selected. Now if you put by gender information, it is not filtering the data. If you put model information, it is not filtering data. Now let me take a slicer inside that and put the color information. Okay, now see, when I click on black color, the data is changing. So, and see here, all function data is not changing. If I put that all function is displaying the same information, all selected function is displaying the same information, and all except function is displaying the same information. But put attention here when I am selecting any of the things. When I am clicking on the blue color, it is changing the data. So what is the meaning of all selected? All selected means whatever filter is there inside a table, it will not affect. But any of the filter which is outside the table, that is a slicer which you put on your Power BI screen, it will work. Now see here if it is working. Let's say here if I am putting, let me remove here the gender. Here gender wise it is not changing. But let me remove gender here and take one slicer and put gender inside that. And see if I am selecting, now it is displaying or it is filtering the data. So this way all selected function is working. Now let me tell you the summary of what is the difference between all selected and all accept. I hope you read the difference between all accept and all selected. Thank you for choosing Know How Academy as a source of your IT knowledge. We are always here to help you to navigate to the tech world. If you have any question, do not feel hesitate to reach out us. Stay curious and keep learning.